Hello, and welcome to the wonderful Wednesday broadcast of Miss Hope's Reading Hour. So glad that you all can be here this evening. Wonderful Wednesday to you all. Hopefully, you had a terrific Tuesday and that the beginning of your wonderful Wednesday was awesome. So, today here in Philadelphia, with our students, it started the first day of our new schedule. Remember, I had told people that before we had half days on Fridays, but since we are starting hybrid school for pre-kindergarten to second grade, we get half days on Wednesdays. So today was definitely a wonderful Wednesday for my class and for a lot of other students in the school district of Philadelphia because they had a half day today. But we did get some good work done in the morning. Okay, just because there's half days does not mean we don't do any work. Also, in the afternoon, you have a chance to do some work on your own. So that's how that works. And then we still have to do work, us adults. We have to do work even though the students aren't in school. But all in all, it was a wonderful Wednesday. It was. So hopefully your wonderful Wednesday was wonderful. I don't know how it is in other parts of the country or other parts of the world, but guess what? Here in the United States, very, very soon, Saturday to be exact, we will be turning our clocks 1 hour forward. We'll be springing forward because spring will begin. Yes, we will be springing forward. Can you believe it? We're all ready to spring. Wow. I mean, time is just moving, right? So we'll be turning our clocks up. So unfortunately, we will be losing 1 hour of bedtime, losing 1 hour of sleep, but gaining an hour of daylight. Now today, I went out to get a package. Guess what the package was? It was of books. I'm excited. So I went out to get a package and the weather was awesome. Okay. According to the weathermen and weatherwomen here in Philadelphia, the weather's going to be even better tomorrow and better than that on Friday. But there will be a bit of a cool down. But we're about to be in spring, friends. So the weather is about to be awesome. When school is over, you can get outside and play and have fun and roll around in some grass and ride your bikes and your skates and things like that. So hopefully some of the young ones here in Philadelphia and the tri-state area, you got to go out and have a wonderful time playing and having fun, getting some fresh air and that wonderful vitamin D from the sun on your skin. Okay? Now, if you saw the teaser, since it was so wonderful outside, I decided let me pick 2 books that kind of talk about, what happens in spring in a way. Let me talk about spring and like planting new things. So that's what I did. The 2 books that we are reading today are brand spanking new. And they speak about planting and about women and girls. Once again, happy Women's History Month to you all. So let's get into the books. Before that, what's our disclaimer? Unfortunately, Miss Hope and Miss Hope's Reading Hour do not own the rights to the wonderful music you will hear today or the awesome books that we will read. But, oh, my friends, they are here for your listening and reading enjoyment. Hello, Miss Brandy. So glad that you are here with us, you and the boys. Thank you so much. Now, let's get to our books for today. So, our first book is called 111 Trees. How one village celebrates the birth of every girl. 111 Trees. This book is by Reena Singh, illustrated by Marianne Ferrer. 111 Trees. How one village celebrates the birth of every girl. Now, I saw this when I was looking for books, and I was like, I have to get that one. I have to get it. First of all, because I got to know the story. Second of all, a village that celebrates the birth of every girl. Not that our young men are not important, but that is a pretty cool thing. We got to find out about that. All right. And then our next one is called Planting Stories. Oh, the pictures in both of these books are so amazing. Planting Stories. The life of librarian and storyteller Pura Bulepre. Words by Annika Aldamoy. Sorry if I butchered that. Denise. Illustrations by Paula Escobar. Ho ho! Look there. One of those wonderful medals that even a young one could win for writing a book. So this is Pura Bulepre honor book. Oh, a medal named for the woman this book is about. Oh, we definitely have to find out about her. Definitely. Planting Stories. And of course, we will continue learning about our girl, Patina. Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. We got to finish learning some more about her family. She talked a little bit about the school that she goes to, that her sister loves it, but not so much Patina. But we'll find out some more today. Now let us get into our first book, 111 Trees. How one village celebrates the birth of every girl, by Reena Singh. And looks just the same under the dust jacket. All right. Don't feel bad about how I'm bending these books. Sometimes you got to bend a new book a little bit so you can see everything, okay? All right, so this is a Kids Can Press book. All right, so there's a preface to this book. Something to let you know a little bit about it. Not too long ago, a village in India was ruled by ancient customs. There, the birth of a boy was celebrated with the beating of pots and pans and the sharing of sweets. A son was a blessing from the gods, someone who would carry on the family name and take care of aging parents. The birth of a girl was welcomed with silence. A daughter was a burden, someone who would cost parents a dowry, money given to the groom's family when she got married, and who would become the property of her husband. But today, things are different in that village. Today, one girl equals 111 trees. This story is true, and it all started with a boy named Sundar. Let's find out about this story. Sundar watches his mother balance the water pot on her head. Walking to the well, with her every day in the blistering heat is hard, but it's his favorite thing to do. It's the only thing it's the only time he has her all to himself. On the way back, they stop under some trees, and she asks him to collect pieces of firewood for cooking. He sees her smile at him through her veil. At night, Sundar feels his mother's wet cheeks as she hushes him and his two hungry sisters to sleep. Their mud house is too small for his family of 11. Whoa, that is a lot of people. One night, Sundar's mother was bitten by a poisonous snake. In the morning, she doesn't wake up. The villagers come to the door, wail loudly, and take her away. Just like that, his mother is gone. After this, whenever Sundar sees women walking to the well, he runs to wrap his arms around a tree, pretending to hug his mother. Oh, such a shame. Years pass. Sundar grows up, marries, and becomes a father. He has 2 daughters and a son, and he and his wife raise them with equal love and joy. As his children grow, he teaches them the names of trees and birds. He shows them how their lives depend on the natural world. He guides them to embrace all forms of life. Look at those beautiful pictures. Sundar works as a laborer in the marble factory not far from his village. The process of mining the marble strips the soil, dumps waste into the land, and leaves the landscape dry and barren, making any kind of farming difficult. He asked the factory owner to plant trees to make up for the harm they are doing to the countryside, but they refuse. Sundar begins to fear for the future well-being of his village. He is so angry that he leaves his job. Sundar brims with ideas to make life better for the people of his village. He wants no one to live in fear of hunger. He wants all children, boys and girls, to go to school and spend their childhoods not spend their childhoods working the fields or fetching water. He wants to heal the land ravaged by irresponsible mining. He dreams of planting trees. He runs in the election to become Sarpanch, the village head, and he wins. Good job, Sundar. Stepping up to make a difference. One year later, his older daughter dies after a brief illness. Sundar is heartbroken. He shuts himself in a room and cries for 12 days. On the 13th day, he comes out and plants some saplings, burying his grief into the earth. Sundar imagines the saplings growing into magnificent trees that will live for hundreds of years, and with them will live the memory of his daughter. All of a sudden, Sundar knows what he has to do. Every girl born in the village will be welcomed with the planting of 111 trees. Sundar shares his idea with the men and women of the village. The villagers think Sundar has lost his mind. They reject his plan. It's against their tradition to honor girls. They argue. They are afraid the world will laugh at them. They don't understand this new way of thinking. Wow. Let's see what happens. But Sundar keeps talking to the villagers. He shows them how the factory is slowly destroying the land. He tells them of other nations where girls and boys are treated equally, where there is plenty of water and electricity and enough wealth and knowledge to go to the moon. He even offers to plant the trees in the girls' names himself if the villagers promise to send their daughters to school and wait to marry them off until they turn 18. Wow, planting 111 trees yourself? Now that is a feat. Slowly, very slowly, the villagers begin to understand that by welcoming girls and planting trees, they might bring balance back to nature. They worry about the water the trees will need, but Sundar has a plan for that too. He brings in engineers from the city, and the villagers learn how to harvest rain by digging trenches to store water that can also be used for drinking. When termites infect some of the trees, the women grow aloe vera plants to cure them. Oh, you learn something new every day. If termites try to infect your trees and eat holes in them, you use aloe vera to heal it. Listen up, gardeners. You learn something new every day. Soon the men see that the women no longer have to walk for hours to fetch water. The women see that the children are no longer hungry. The trees are making life better for everyone. The villagers begin to place their trust in Sundar. And every time a girl is born, the villagers plant 111 trees. Oh, look at that fruit. The trees and the girls grow up together. Mothers and daughters take care of the trees. At the end of every summer, girls tie sacred threads around the trunks to renew their bonds with them. Oh, wow, what a beautiful ceremony. Wow. The village prospers and the trees continue to grow. Today, mango, papaya, neem, shisham, and amla trees line the roads and cascade down the hillsides. Wow. And I love mangoes and papaya. There is enough water for everyone in the village. Girls go to school and learn along with boys. And to this day, every time one girl is born, 111 trees are planted. Wow, that is beautiful. The end. Oh, I want to show you. Oh, they have pictures of the different trees. Wow. So let me show you a picture of Sundar. This is Sundar, the grown man. That's Sundar. And how the girls tie the sacred threads to renew their connection to the trees. That's how they tie the sacred threads around. Isn't that beautiful? What an awesome story. Not just to restore health to the land by planting trees, but also a way to show that girls are welcome into the world too. The birth of a girl should be celebrated just like the birth of a boy. Girls should be able to go to school just like boys are able to go to school. Girls should have a chance to grow up more before they're married, just like boys should have the chance to do that. What a wonderful story. 111 trees. And good job, Sundar. Remember, since the beginning of Women's History Month, I've been talking about the importance of men to women's history. Because when men stand up for women and show women and tell women and girls that they are valuable and they can do anything, that helps us to know that men have our backs. Boys have our backs. He did that he thought of things like that when he was a boy. So, very good story, 111 Trees by Reena Singh. All right, let's get into our next book, Planting Stories. Now, we're not talking about planting trees or plants or flowers. We're talking about stories. The Life of Librarian and Storyteller Pura Bulepre. Words by Annika Denise. And this is a HarperCollins book. Oh, finally we got one that looks a little different on the hardcover. But that's still cool because I keep all the dust jackets. All right. Little itch. All right. It is 1921. Pura Teresa Bulepre leaves her home in San Juan for a visit to Nueva York. Words travel with her, stories her abuela taught her, cuentos folclóricos, Pura retold in the shade of a tamarind tree in Puerto Rico. Oh, look at those pictures. They're beautiful. Now, a new island stretches before her, ripe for planting seeds of the cuentos she carries. Manhattan, a city of hustle and bustle, bigger, louder, crowded, yet alive with hope and possibility. What began as a visit to celebrate her sister's wedding becomes the first steps in a new land, y una vida nueva for Pura. It's got to be pretty exciting going from Puerto Rico to New York. She works first in a garment factory, but it is cold floors and hard edges, not the soft, fertile ground where seeds take root. Then a golden opportunity, una benedición. The library needs a bilingual assistant. Pura speaks Spanish, English, and French. She is perfect for the job. Wow, what an accomplishment. She speaks 3 languages. How lucky for the library that Piora has story seeds ready to plant. Oh, I didn't see the words at the bottom of the other page. But where are her abuela's stories? Not one folk tale from Puerto Rico is on the shelves. How lucky for the library that Piora has story seeds ready to plant and grow. In the children's room, she lights the story hour candle and begins. Her eyes dance, her voice sings. Piora's words paint a picture of a little house with a round balcony where Martina, a beautiful Spanish cockroach, meets Perez, a handsome and gallant mouse. El ratoncito Perez y la cucarachita Martina, a tale from the tamarind tree. When Pura's story is done, each child makes a wish on the candle, and with a wisp of air, whoosh, la vela is blown out. Now, Pura has a wish too, to plant her story seeds throughout the land. Pura learns to make puppets. She snips and sews their clothes, paints their delicate faces. Oh, these are thick pages. I always think I'm missing a page. Families come to folk tales en inglés y español to watch Pura's puppet dance across the stage of her stories. That little cockroach is cute. I gotta give it to her. But the library needs more libros for its shelves. Libros is books in Spanish. How can more children read Perez y Martina and other cuentos de Puerto Rico? Pura puts her story in an envelope and mails it to Frederick Warren, a publisher. Oh, a book. Let's see what happens. Soon, Perez y Martina is a book. Now a published author, puppeteer, and storyteller. Pura travels from branch to branch, classroom to classroom, to churches and communities, planting her story seeds in the hearts and minds of children new to this island who wish to remember la lengua y los colores of home, the language and colors of home. Writing, learning, speaking, teaching, traveling. Pura does not slow down until, like the beautiful Martina, she meets her Perez. I wonder what that means. Let's see. On a December day in New York, Pura marries the musician Clarence Cameron White. Un año away from the library, she decides. 1 year to start a new life as a wife. But a year stretches on. Together, they travel to new cities. Clarence plays his music. Piora tells her stories. Oh, she looks so pretty on her wedding day. They are happy years of music and writing, separations and reunions, friends, family, and stories always. Until on a June day in New York, Clarence stops playing his music and Piora's story must begin again. Oh, wow. In 1961, Piora returns to the library. There are others now, storytellers, who make puppets dance, who read Perez y Martina, The Tiger and the Rabbit, Juan Bobo, and The Three Magi, and many more of Pura's stories to the children. I've got to get some of those books so we can read them here on the reading hour. The seeds she has planted, the roots that grew shoots into the open air of possibility, have become a lush landscape into which she steps as though she has never left. Wow, look at these pictures. They're so beautiful. And the kids love her books. Oh, the end. So there is an author's note, but it's a little long for me to read. Let's see. So the books she wrote are called Perez and Martina, Juan Bobo, The Tiger and the Rabbit, and The Three Magi. Oh, I can't wait to read those books. You know we're going to have to get them for the reading hour, right? Wow, what an amazing story. So, let me get this. Piura came here from Puerto Rico, which is actually a territory of the United States. So they are United States citizens. But life is different in Puerto Rico. It's an island. It's not attached to other states and things like that. An island is surrounded by water. So it's very tropical. Unlike New York, which has warm summers and really cold winters. But she made a life here. But then when she came, she saw there are none of the stories from my homeland. And they were great stories, and she wanted to share them. She wanted to plant those seeds right there in New York. And then when she planted them there, she got to plant them all over the country. Such an amazing story. I can't wait to read her books. Monday, you may see them on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Such a great story. And it's really great when, we have things that we know that would be great for other people to enjoy and to experience. And we think, how can I give that experience to other people? That is part of the reason I started Miss Hope's Reading Hour. I started Miss Hope's Reading Hour because, I knew that during this time that we've been in separation, that there are many children who may not have books at home. And they may be like, I'm in my house all the time. Maybe I just want to get away and imagine something different. And that is what I wanted to give to parents, families, and most importantly, children. So, the same way that Piora wanted to plant seeds of the stories from her homeland, I wanted to plant the seeds of stories, of great books, books that you may not have heard of before, books that help you to imagine and just escape where you are through your imagination. And I hope that that's what Miss Hope's Reading Hour does for you. And also with these stories to help you to know that you're not the only person who's going through things, that there are other people who've been through the same things that you've been through, and there's other people who understand. Even if it's fictional, um, you can, if someone wrote about it, even if it's not a real person, wrote about that character, then it shows that the person who wrote the story understands and has empathy. So hopefully, I'm planting the seeds of you guys wanting to read more and wanting to experience new books. Okay. So I feel like me and Pura are kindred spirits. Well, my friends, let us get to, you know what we're getting to, y'all. You know who we're getting to. We got to get to Miss Patina and find out what else is going on with her and her family. Because the last time we were, let me turn that down a little bit. The last time that we were reading about Patina, she was talking about Chester Academy and how she was just like not feeling the girls there, that she didn't feel like she fit in, that they didn't really care about what was going on with her. But her sister Maddie seemed to love the school, even though she didn't. And she has to do a group project with three of her new classmates. We got to see how that one turns out, because she's already used to getting the projects done by herself. And as someone who's in college, sometimes that happens with group projects. One person or two people do most of the work, while the other people just show up and take credit, which is never fun. Okay. But they have their person, the woman that they're going to talk about, Frida Kahlo, a famous artist. Well, let's see. She's getting ready to go to track practice right after school. So let's see how that goes as we get back into Patina, Patty Ain't No Junk by Jason Reynolds. We are now in chapter 4. To do. Get over it. I mean, the whole second place thing. Straighten up, Patty, Mom Lee called out from the car window before pulling off. She said this all the time. Drove me crazy. Always nagging me about my posture or whatever. Roll your shoulders back, Patty. Stop hunching, Patty. And even though it was annoying, I knew she was right. I always walked like I had on a backpack, even if I didn't. You'll be walking with a cane by the time you're my age, Patty. And even though Mom Lee's age was a long, long, long way away, I wasn't trying to be walking with no cane by then, or ever. So I shook off the nag and rolled my shoulders back. I made it all the way to the track with my back straight and caught up with Ghost and Lou going about some dude who Ghost, I guess, was having a beef with at school. Soon as spring break is over, we'll see if he got something to say to me, Ghost said. Man, he ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't even gonna look your way. probably at home right now still crying about getting smoked on Saturday, Lou followed. Burnt him up. Must have ruined his little vacation, Ghost topped off, laughing and slapping Lou's hand. Those two were always bragging about something. That was regular. So regular that I let my shoulders roll forward again, comfortable. Just couldn't help it. Plus, these fools and just about everybody else on the team were always on break, and I was still in school getting academied. Fancy school Patty. And I didn't know if Sonny was on break or not because he gets homeschooled, which to me just seemed like vacation with a little bit of education sprinkled in. Sonny didn't seem to be paying Ghost and Lou no mind though. He was just sitting on the track with his feet pressed together, his long legs butterflied. "What's up, Patty?" Lou said. "What's up?" I said with nothing on it. I sat next to Sonny, stretched my legs out in front of me. I was trying to get my mind right, trying to refocus, work harder. First practice of a new week after the first meet. Time to get to work. Ghost just looked at me and nodded. Probably could see the serious on my face, so he knew not to say nothing. Too bad Aaron, our team captain, didn't get it. "Yo, Patty, you still mad?" Aaron asked, stoking a fire he pretended he didn't know was there. I didn't think he was necessarily trying to be mean, but he knew it was a soft spot, especially since the reason he was asking was because of the way I had acted when I crossed the finish line. Now, Ghost was giving Aaron that "what's your problem" look. "Yo, chill," he warned. But the truth is, I didn't need Ghost or Lou or Sonny or anybody to take up for me. But I didn't say nothing. Just let it ride. "I'm just saying. It was the first race of the season," Aaron bulldozed on. "Let it go. Ain't no reason to be mad about losing. Losing? Losing." Back went my shoulders, and out came the mad. "Yeah, maybe for you," I shot back, glaring at Aaron. "But I'm still mad. And so what?" "Uh-oh," Kiran warned. He was a mid-distance runner like me, but had more mouth than he had moves. So he already knew the power of my clapback. "Shut up, Kiran," Aaron spat. "Yo, Patty, I ain't even mean it like that. It's just you got second place and was acting all funky for the rest of the meet, like no one else had races to run, like you ain't got teammates that need your support." Spoken like a true captain. I didn't respond, just stretched my arms out in front of me and grabbed my left foot, pulled myself down until my head was on my knee. Sonny was doing the same stretch. I turned my face so my cheek was resting on my kneecap and caught his eyes catching my legs. "Hey, Patty," he said in his usual sweet voice, which in the moment seemed a little creepy. Actually, a lot creepy. He looked down my leg awkwardly and flashed a timid smile. "Hey, Sonny," I replied uncomfortably. Was Sonny checking me out? If he was, now was not the time. Also, no, gross, stop it right now. Seriously. "What happened to your nails?" he asked. Oh, he was checking out my nails and the fact that there was no polish on them. But there had been on Saturday at the meet. I did my best to make a cool design using the Defender's colors, but it ended up just looking like bright blue with orange squiggles. I scrubbed them clean before church yesterday. Another thing Ma would have said made me look too fast. Ugh. Yeah, I know. That's the point. But Ma was talking about a different kind of fast. I took the polish off, I said. Why? Oh, just because they were cool. Reminded me of Flojo, Sonny said with a shrug. I wanted to ask him how he even knew about Flojo's nails, but I didn't, because there was no need, because he obviously knew something. I did, however, let a smile inch into my face for the first time since the race, the first time in 2 days. Okay, listen up, Coach said. He'd been standing off to the side talking to Whit, the assistant coach. But now he was in front of us, clapping his hands together to get our attention. Before we start practice, I first want to say good job on Saturday. Some of you did better than others, but all of you put your hearts into it. I saw some things on the track that I loved. Then he looked straight at me. And I saw some things that didn't quite rub me right. Either way, I'm proud. He pulled something from his back pocket, a metal stick, a baton. But now we got to get to work. He told everyone else to go start their warm-ups, but he asked me to stay behind. And once everyone else had a 200-meter head start, Coach invited me to jog with him. That's right, Coach was running. And he never ran. He just ordered us to run. Even though we all knew about his whole used to be an Olympian thing. It was so hard to believe because we never saw him even pretend to take a stride. After about 10 seconds of nothing but the sound of rubber on asphalt, Coach finally said, "You did good Saturday, kid." The silver of the baton gleaming in the sun. Jog, jog, jog. I let my arms drop down to my side, shook them out. I did okay, I said, blah. Second place is a lot more than okay, Coach replied, clearly trying to make me feel better. Still got you a piece of fabric, didn't it? The piece of fabric Coach was talking about was the ribbon, the second place ribbon, not the first place, second place ribbon, the one that they give you for false finishes. Yeah, I guess. Jog, 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 jog. Here, he extended the baton to me. I took it, not sure why he was giving it to me, but it didn't matter. Because as soon as I took it, he said, "Now give it back." I gave it back, and about 2 seconds later, he extended it toward me again. "Take it." Confused and getting annoyed, I grabbed it again. "Give it to me," he said, motioning for it almost immediately, his palm up, raising and falling with each step. We were almost a whole lap around, and I could see my teammates well into their second and final one. I slapped the baton into Coach's hand again, and this time asked, "What are we doing this for?" "Take it," he said, passing it to me a third time. Jog, jog, jog. "Coach, why are you doing this?" I repeated. My attitude started to sizzle as I reluctantly took the baton again. "I'll tell you, but first," jog, 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 "give it back to me." I ticked my tongue against my teeth and gave Coach the bar, the metal clinking against his wedding ring. Finally, he was ready to stop being a weirdo and tell me whatever it was he was trying to get me to understand. "How did it feel in your hand?" Jog, jog, jog. "I don't know," I said, trying to find an answer. "I guess normal." Right. It felt normal. Every time it went from my hand to yours and from yours to mine. Coach passed the baton from one hand to the next. Now imagine it got magic powers. And every time I give it to you, I'm transferring some kind of power from me to you, like strength or something. And when you pass it back, you transfer your power to me. So we stay balanced. Now, if for some reason you decide not to pass it to me, what do you think happens? "I don't get your strength," I said, in the voice I give the hair flippers. when they tell me to try a little powder on my nose. The whatever voice. Exactly, jog, jog. Coach cleared his throat and tried to sound as if he wasn't winded, but I knew he was because his words were thinning out. Now this baton represents the energy of our team. When we're passing it from one person to the next, the team's energy stays, like you said, normal. But if anyone decides they don't want to pass it, they don't want to participate in it, well then, the energy is knocked off balance and your teammates are left empty-handed, weakened. You understand? So here's what I'm figuring out about Coach. He was probably one of those kids who wrote poetry and stuff like that. He acts all cool, but the way he be talking makes me think he's more like Sonny when he was younger, which is still cool, but a different kind of cool. And I don't really know if all his philosophies make sense, but we all understand what he be trying to tell us, no matter how left he gotta take us to get us right. So I think so is what I said back to him. Coach cut his eyes at me, not satisfied. Well, to make sure you know so, let me make it clear. We are a team, Patty. You can pout and shout, but you cannot check out. Coach took a second before praising himself. I should have been a rapper. Out here running on a track when I should have been rapping on a track. He laughed. I did too. An inside belly chuckle. So, you understand now? Yeah, good. Because I don't feel like running no more. Coach made a hard left off the track and started walking across the grass. He flipped the baton in his hand over and over. Hurry up and finish, Patina. Patina. Coach was always trying to be funny. And I knew he thought saying my name like that was comedy gold. He lifted the baton in the air like a wizard casting a spell and yelled, "We got to get to work. We got work to do." Chapter 5. To do. Dance. This time, like an old king is watching. Stiff and boring. By the time I reached the other side of the track, Coach was already laying out what everyone needed to do in practice, which, for the most part, was basically what we always did on Mondays. Fartleks, which is basically just when you run kind of fast for 3 minutes and 3 minutes, then real fast for 1 minute. Then kind of fast for 3, real fast for 1. Over and over and over again. Then there's some specialized training where the sprinters would break off and do their own thing. The mid-distance runners would do the same. And the distance runners, well, they just run all practice. But then, out of nowhere, Coach threw a wrench in the plan. "We're also going to spend some time working on relay," he said, slapping the baton against his thigh. "Not all 20 of you. There's 19 of us, Coach. Chris is gone, remember?" Aaron slipped in. Coach just raised his eyebrow, glared at Aaron in the "I'm talking" way. Plus, rounding up ain't against the rules. Seriously. Anyway, just my mid-distance runners for now, Coach elaborated. At some point, we'll develop a 4x400. But we don't have enough veteran sprinters on the boys' side for that. He nodded at Ghost and Lou. "We'll get you newbies where you need to be soon. We got a long season ahead of us. But for now, let's start with one of our sweet spots, the 4x800. Let me get Freddie, Eric, Mikey, and Curon. And for the girls, I need Deja, Crystal, Britt Brat, and joining them as the fourth will be Patty. He glared at me. Can you handle that? I nodded. Good. Coach Witt is going to work with y'all. These two groups are our 4x800 relay teams. If anyone has a problem with this decision, speak now or forever hold your peace. Whoo! Well, Coach got Patina right real quick. He let her know, I know that it hurts to lose, but you can't check out on the team. And it's kind of like that when you're an athlete. My mom was an athlete. She actually ran track. And she would talk about how she was just like, I like winning. I didn't like it when you lost. I didn't like it when I lost. But all in all, you got to remember that you're a part of a team. And just because you're feeling a little funky about not winning, you still got to be able to give that energy to the rest of your team that also has races to run. Kind of like a group project, right? So let's see if Patina can translate that to her group project with her new classmates. Let's see if she can translate that to her new living situation where she's not a fan of that either. But can you, even if you're upset about it, can you give your positive energy to everyone who's trying to get used to it? Your mom, your little sister Maddie, your aunt and uncle. They always say sports, being a part of sports can teach you a lot about life. And now that I listen to Coach, I feel like people are right. So, well, we are at the end of another Miss Hope's reading hour. Read some awesome books today. 111 Trees, awesome true story. And the story of Pura Belepre. Wonderful story about someone planting a love for books and a love for their culture in a new culture. Well, we are at the end again. The time always goes like this. I'm always looking up at the timer like I'm trying to get it all in time. But then I look up and I'm like, whoa, time is moving. We got to keep it going. Well, I look forward to seeing you all on a wonderful, fabulous Friday. Hopefully, I will have some fun books for you all because the weather is going to be awesome. Okay. Well, have a thankful Thursday. Find something to be thankful for tonight. Then when you wake up in the morning, say, oh, thank you for being alive. Find some other things to be thankful for in your Thankful Thursday. And I will see you right back here on a fabulous Friday on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Until then, my friends, thank you for reading with me. It is always just the joy of my week to be here with you all. Until next time, I will see you